want to talk about socks today because socks are really important walking naturally. And everyone's got their personal preference for socks. So I'm just going to quickly go over some socks here. I just bought these recently, these trekking socks from Boreal. It's a famous company. I used to use their boots for climbing and shoes for walking. It's a great company, Spanish company, Boreal. And I bought these trekking socks. Here they are. Here, they're new. I've had them on my feet like twice. Okay? And they weren't cheap. And I've got to say, I'm not very happy with them at all. I think they're not crap, but they're not very good. They could be better. And the reason is, if you look at the weave in there, you see this weave is very loose. Okay, let's have a closer look at this here. Right, okay, so the weave is very loose in here, and I'm not satisfied with that really on there. And as I said, they weren't cheap. Now, what are they made out of? These things are 60% this thing called thermalite, 17% polyamide, which is the fancy word for nylon, 10% lana wool, whatever lana wool is, 8% acrylic, and 5% elastane. And so and this is thermalite stuff, which is supposedly a Coolmax, another fancy word for Coolmax. Coolmax is usually pretty good. Let's put these aside for a second. These other socks here are really old. I bought these in Australia. I can't remember the brand name now, which is unfortunate, but these are really old. These are like 5 years old. They're knackered now. You see, they've got a hole in the heel here, but the weave was very tough. Very good weave here. Let's have a look at the difference in the weave. The weave was a tighter weave, and these are actually made from Coolmax too. I think these were a blend of Coolmax and a bit of wool in there, and I wish I could remember the brand, but they were really good. Let's have a look on the inside there. That's that, and that's there, okay. Okay, these are new. They're about the same on the inside, but the weave is stronger on these, and these went there on the heel. Okay, these were great. Even if they got wet, you could dry them out. They dried very, very quickly, and Coolmax should too. I haven't washed these yet. It's very cold here at the moment. I've got to wash them and see how quickly they dry. So there, those two there. I'm not happy exactly with the Boreal ones. The other ones here, these, if you're an Australian, you'll recognize these straight away probably. These are the Explorer socks. This is a brand that's been around for a long time. I've got many of my socks this brand because the weave is great. It doesn't pile up too much on the outside, and it's a mixture of wool and nylon, and that's the inside of those. And these are great if your feet don't sweat. My feet don't sweat a lot, but if your feet sweat a lot, you really should be wearing something like Coolmax. Is great. It really wicks away the moisture, but these are really, really tough. These Explorer range socks. And then another ones I just use outdoors too. These are Peter Storm, and these are pretty good socks, except I destroyed them by not cutting my toenails. Probably, you've got to keep your toenail, you've got to have some personal hygiene and look after yourself, and that's what happens if you don't cut your toenails. You're going to ruin a pair of socks. But these are made out of Coolmax too, and I was very happy. The weave is tight on them. They can take a bit of a beating. So I would recommend those, but and the only reason the hole is in the toe is because I was lazy, and that's what happens. So there you go, Peter Storm brand. They're pretty good. These Explorer Australian socks, if you're in Australia, or you can get a hold of these Explorer range socks, they are really great. Unfortunately, an unknown pair of very good Coolmax socks. These were not cheap, but they lasted the longest, about 5 years or so. Look at that. They're just really, really good. If I could just find that again. And these latest ones, these supposed trekking ones from Boreal Trekking, which I'm not happy about really at all. I think the weave is, this is after a couple of wears, you see, just 2 days. And let's see, maybe they need to have a wash and tighten up, but I'm not so happy. We'll see. The heels look pretty thin and everything, and they were not cheap. They were about $30. All right, thanks for watching Bush Camping Tools here.